How's things been since last Wednesday?
Yeah, all right. Absolutely fine. We've had a good week's training, so we're very much looking forward to the game.
How has your own mood changed since then?
In what way?
You were kind of angry last week at a lot of things and a lot of people. How have you kind of
All right,
progressed
thanks,
from
Sean.
that?
Thanks for
moved on to
asking.
that? Do you feel any different from last week?
Yeah, I'm not as angry as I was last week. Yeah, but a week in your life is a long time. So yeah, very calm and very much looking forward to the game. It's been weird not having a game at the weekend, so we've done a good volume of work coming into this game.
A lot of people are looking to this review that the Parkhead board promised by January. Have you spoken to Peter or Dermot about that? Can you elaborate on that at all?
Well, I speak to Peter more or less every day on about club duties, about the team, about the transfer window. So I'm just carrying on as normal.
Can I ask you what do you feel personally when you watch the whole speculation over people that potentially are coming in to replace you when you're still in the job?
Yeah, I mean, it's highly disrespectful, but a lot of managers go through the same things. I don't think it's right. I don't think there's any foundation to it either. So we just ignore it.
I know you mentioned there that you speak to Peter on a regular basis. Do you feel as if you're in a bit of a limbo, or are you making plans with Peter to get potentially players in this window to maybe change the fortunes a little?
Yes, we're looking at players to bring players in, yes.
And are you able to shed light on, is it 2 or 3? Is it something that you've sat down with Peter and said, right, here's the strategy to take us to the end of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at a number of positions and a number of options, and we think we're a bit of the way down the line with 1 or 2 deals, and so hopefully we'll have something for you in the next few days.
As you look at players maybe coming in, will there be players going out? There seems to be a bit of speculation about Jeremy Frimpong.
Yeah, well, Jerry is abroad at the minute, speaking to the club. So that deal looks like it may go through.
Neil, is that a deal which has come about in the last couple of days? And is that, I mean, Jeremy's obviously a great young player. Is he someone that you would have liked to have kept here?
Yeah, well, I mean, the player made it clear. This isn't, appeared in the last couple of days. This has been, in the background for the last 6 or 7 weeks. Club have made strides to renegotiate with Jeremy and his representatives, and that wasn't the case. And the player made it clear to me, to Nick, to the board, that he wanted to leave.
Is it presumably then a right back would be a priority then to try and get another one in the next week?
That's the position that we're looking at, yeah.
Neil, has he given a reason why he feels so unhappy that he wants to go?
I wouldn't say he was unhappy. Just ambitious maybe, or he wanted to try something else to progress his career at another club. We are obviously very disappointed. We did everything we could to try and entice the player to stay, but he made it clear quite a while ago that his ambition was to leave.
Do you think current events and what's happened in the collapse of the title charges maybe accelerated his desire?
Possibly. You need to ask Jeremy that.
Neil, has anyone else expressed an interest to leave?
Yes.
Do you expect many?
No.
You said at the start of the season, around about the summer, that a few players had expressed a desire to go. Given the way the season's panned out, do you wish at that point you'd maybe shown a few of them the door?
I mean, that's a hypothetical question. We tried to keep all our best players here to, make a foray for another league title. and to have another strong season. So, it's always difficult when, players are agitating, but we try to settle them down. I don't think anybody else will believe in the window. So, look, you could look at it in many different ways, but we were happy with keeping the squad intact.
The board had a fairly significant outlay in the summer. Are you confident you've got the funds that you need to do the business that you want to in this window?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll be, spending money, or it'll be just maybe looking at a player on loan between now and the end of the season, or one or two, bargains that are out there that we feel could be value for money and would make us better.
How do you approach this next little period, Neil, and almost look to draw a line under what's going on before? You've said that the league may be beyond you, but you're not obviously going to give it up yet. How do you get to a place where you can try and at least put a little bit of pressure on Rangers, at least ask a question? Because, losing the league would be one thing, but to lose it without asking a question of Rangers would be unforgivable.
Well, I mean, it's all about momentum, and we haven't had that opportunity to build any momentum. It's been very disruptive, so hopefully we can, avoid any more disruptions between now and the end of the season, and we had good consistency in December. We were winning games and winning them well, played well at Ibrox, and then we had the whole fallout from Dubai, which sort of again set us back. So we're building towards finding that form again, from December onwards, and the players are capable of putting a good run together. And we want to finish. We want to find strength, find consistency, find quality as we go along, and finish the season as strongly as we can.
These two home games back to back this week, Neil, how important is it that you start building this run now, starting tomorrow with Hamilton?
Yeah, well, that's correct. We haven't won in the last 4 games, so it's really important we get back to winning ways. If you look at the games in isolation, I thought we played really well in the Old Firm game. I thought we played really well, in difficult conditions against Livingston. In both the games, we didn't get the results that the performance merited. And in between then, we were totally hamstrung and decimated by, the call-offs with the COVID breach. So it's just been a week of keeping them all together. They all seem pretty healthy. And getting a run of games and getting momentum and form. And, we've still got a bit to do in the league, and we've also got a cup to defend as well.
Neil, is there a temptation, because potentially the league has gone, to cash in on Odsonne Edouard in this window, or is it just a case of you're going to sit in and maybe look to him for the summer if he's going?
Well, we don't want to sell him, Pete, so I don't know why you're mentioning Odsonne. I don't know why you plucked Odsonne's name out of the ether there. There's been no bids for him. There's been no sort of speculation surrounding him. There's been no any sort of interest at all, particularly in this window. And look, we got a really robust offer from a club for Jeremy. The club felt it was good business. We do as well from a footballing side of things. And when the player doesn't make sort of inroads into wanting to sign a new contract and makes it clear that he would prefer to play his football elsewhere, then that was a decision we all agreed with to take. Negotiations are ongoing at the minute, and we'll see how that pans out, but I don't envisage anyone else going out the door.
Hey, well, you said there that a couple of other players had suggested that had come to you that they wanted to go. What was the difference in saying no to them?
Sorry?
Did you say earlier in your news conference, Neil, that a couple of other players had come up to you and said that they wanted to go?
Yeah, that was early on in the season, yeah.
Okay. And you just mentioned it there in terms of Jeremy, it's a good business deal for the club. Obviously, your disappointment with losing him.
That's football, and sometimes when a player makes it clear that, he would prefer to go elsewhere, then from a footballing decision, you have to, look at it and go, is this the right thing for the club to do? Is this the right sort of deal for us? And it ticked all the boxes, really. So, yeah, we're disappointed to lose him, but he's come in for 300 grand and we've sold him for or we could sell him for a huge amount of money. So, you know, it's credit to the development of the player himself and what myself and the coaches and the club have done for him. That, you know, a couple of top European clubs have shown interest in him.
There's a suggestion Roma is one of the clubs in for him. Can you confirm who it is, please?
I can't confirm it, no.
Okay.
Is there a sell-on clause from Manchester City on that, Neil?
I don't know.
There's significant discontent within the support, as many of us feel we shouldn't be all but mathematically out of the title race at this point in such a monumental season. Can you understand why the majority of fans have demanded such huge change at the football club?
No.
Okay.
Because we won 9 league titles in a row and 4 consecutive trebles, which no other club's ever done. So I don't understand why because we're having a difficult season, you know, there's this sort of hysteria to change the board, change the club from top to bottom. That's not what I'm seeing. And I think I know the club well enough. I'm not going to, you know, cut corners in what I'm saying. I understand that, you know, people may want to change a manager and change the managerial staff, but the way the club's been run over the past 20 years has been absolutely fantastic.
And just with regards to tomorrow night, obviously without a win in 4 games, what can you try that you haven't already tried, either from a practical or tactical point of view, to address the club's form?
Well, you know why we haven't won in 4 games? In 2 of those games, we were absolutely decimated with COVID, you know, call-offs, 13 players out and 3 staff. We had to play youth team players. We had to play third-choice goalkeepers. So I think, you know, while the facts are that we haven't won in 4 games, there are totally mitigating circumstances for those reasons. So it's easy to, you know, throw out stats like that, but not really delve into it and find out the reasons why. The first game against Rangers, I think we were the better team. I don't think anyone could argue with that. We're unfortunate. And I thought against Livingston, we've done more than enough to win the game. So in terms of form going into this game tomorrow night, I don't think it's too shabby. And I'm expecting us to go out, perform and try and win the game as best we can.